This morning at 8 on Fox 14.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a sweatshirt from Pittsburgh is being sold overseas. Fernanda Silva has the story.
Plus, a welding contest brings area high schoolers together for some friendly competition.
And we've got a deceivingly warm day today ahead of an Arctic blast getting ready to move into the area. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Thursday morning. And even though it's a little chilly now, it is going to warm up.
Okay, good.
And it's going to lie to us.
Bipolar it is. It'll be warm, it's cold, it's all over the place.
Gosh, I think Katy Perry has a song about
hot and it's cold.
About this situation. And there's a hot commodity available in France right now.
Oh yes, this is great. A Pittsburgh, Kansas sweatshirt is being sold in a department store all the way in France.
KOAM's Fernanda Silva spoke to the Pittsburgh resident who spotted it in the city of Linz.
Pittsburgh resident Marcos Yoakum was visiting his fiancée in France when he couldn't believe his eyes.
You're walking in this store and suddenly you see a Pittsburgh sweatshirt.
Yeah, it was really, really strange. I had to take a quadruple take, It's really common to see things like New York, and then it'll say like the Big Apple or something. I was thinking immediately, oh, it's probably Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then I saw Kansas, and then I saw Midwest, and I was like, that's my city, that's my town.
The sweatshirt reads Pittsburgh, Midwest greatest town with the correct spelling for the Southeast Kansas, Pittsburgh, without the H. It also says Sunflower State, Kansas. But here's something interesting.
They have the year 1993, and I have no idea what happened in 1993.
The year is not the only mystery surrounding the manufactured sweatshirts. The why Pittsburgh is also an unanswered question. The area Chamber of Commerce hasn't heard of it before, but the organization's president believes it is something good.
But it really doesn't surprise me because Pittsburgh is pretty well known around the world.
The example I used was if you were in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and you went to JCPenney's and you found a shirt that said Lens, France, best town in the north of France. It's the same deal. I was just shocked. I was like, why Pittsburgh, Kansas, of all the cities in the United States?
But Marcus has a theory.
Maybe some French student one time, many moons ago, came to Pitt State, loved it so much, and then they were promoted in Kiabi, and then they were like, you know what, let's make a sweater to sell in France that says Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Spending his last couple of vacation days in France, Marcus will be heading back to Pittsburgh soon, with an extra item in his luggage.
You're coming back home with a souvenir that is actually from your hometown.
Exactly. It's funny. It's actually my first Pittsburgh, Kansas sweater, and I bought it in France. So,
a souvenir that comes with fun memories. In Pittsburgh, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
The department store Kiabi also has the item listed for sale online for €15 or about $17. We tried reaching out to the store but didn't hear back from them. We are unable to determine how the Pittsburgh design ended up in a French department store. So if you think you know, we'd love to hear from you. You can join the discussion on our Facebook page.
Absolutely. We want to find out how that got overseas like that and how it's become a big deal in that particular department store. Very interesting.
So funny.
Very cool story,
yes.
too. All right, something that is also very cool, actually straight up cold, is what's getting ready to roll into the area. Let's take a quick look outside. This is our camera on top of the Cornell complex at downtown Joplin. Sun is rising across the area, a few clouds here and there, but those clouds will increase across the area. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. More traffic on the road as everyone gets their Thursday underway, and they have clear roadways to do it with. But again, that's something that's going to change. Skywatch Storm Tracker, there's those few clouds out there. And as we've talked about earlier, just outside of our viewing area, we have those winter weather advisories. And as I mentioned, I would not be surprised if in the next 12, 24 hours, perhaps less, we might see a few more winter weather advisories across the area. What we do have, though, starting tonight through Tuesday morning, is a wind chill watch for the bulk of southeast Kansas, where wind chills could potentially get 15 to 30 below zero in the next few days. We're talking that's hypothermia, that's frostbite setting in about 30 minutes or less. It could be changed to a wind chill advisory or wind chill warning. We are expecting dangerously cold temperatures out there. And starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. through 6 in the evening, Oklahoma, Arkansas, wind advisories where winds could gust upwards of 50 miles an hour. Still going with that medium impact for snow and wind, a high impact from the dangerously cold temperatures as we head into the weekend. And as you're starting your day, some of you, it's a quick scrape to get the frost off your car. Others, it might take you a couple of extra minutes out there, so be prepared for that. Sitting at 32 in Joplin, 28 in Pittsburgh right now. And as we go into today, we are looking at temperatures into the mid-50s, mostly cloudy skies, winds out of the southeast gusting upwards of 30. A deceivingly warm day out there ahead of a big change in temperatures. We're going to have a full look at the snow for tomorrow, the snow for Sunday, some of the snow for Monday, and just how cold it's going to get in that full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, the Joplin police have made an arrest in that fatal hit-and-run incident. Authorities released an image of what they believe the suspect vehicle looked like, a dark-colored 2002 to 2005 Ford Explorer. Later, they followed a lead to an address in Duquesne where they found a vehicle matching that description. They contacted the owner, 49-year-old Ruben Blanco, and determined he was behind the wheel Monday night when 55-year-old Eva Havelock of Joplin was hit by the vehicle that fled the scene. Havelock died of her injuries Tuesday morning. Formal charges have not yet been filed. And a wind turbine has collapsed in Barton County, Missouri. Take a look at KOAM's drone video of the scene. This is part of Liberty's North Fork Ridge Wind Farm off Highway 43. Liberty's communications director tells us no one was near the site when the turbine collapsed and no injuries were reported. The company says they've secured the site for safety and it's assessing the situation and will provide additional details as they become available. The company adds that the safety of the public and its employees are its top priority. Labette County High School in Kansas hosted a welding competition yesterday. Close to 500 area students from more than 20 high schools took part in the competition. Students were judged on different types of welds, metal preparation, and cuts.
Competition is coming for a long time and we have it every year and we're lucky enough to host it, but basically just kind of like whether you know you're going to be in it and you try out for the team, I made the team, then you're like, oh, I got to get with it now. So I'm going to go sit in the booth and I'm going to do welds that I think is going to be at the competition just to practice and basically get a feel for it.
There were also math tests as part of the competition. Up next, Dustin Luneau from the Joplin Fire Department is with us to talk home safety during winter weather. And later, a blind photo date leads to a marriage proposal. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Farewell running to the bank. Not me. My own real tears are my relief. Ask your eye doctor about Tearvia.
Some beloved characters are making their way back to the big screen with a soundtrack you can sing and dance to. Alicia Stanford has a look at the new Mean Girls.
May I have everyone's attention, please? We have a new student.
In Mean Girls, Katie Heron is experiencing high school for the first time after growing up in Africa, and she's a bit like a gazelle in a lion's den.
Get in, loser.
She quickly attracts the attention of Queen Bee Regina George, who invites her to join her clique, the Plastics. But after Regina breaks the girl code and goes after Katie's crush, the claws come out, and revenge is the law of the jungle.
We're gonna make her pay.
And Gallery Rice stars as Katie, tackling a musical with something new for the Australian actress.
Every project I take, I try and I hope there's a new challenge with it. So with Mean Girls, the challenge was the musical element.
Renee Rapp played the role of Regina George in the Tony-nominated Broadway show and returns to it for the big screen.
It's also a really fun character because like you have to make someone really funny, very sassy, intimidating, and calculated, but like appear careless.
Tina Fey wrote the script for the 2004 film Mean Girls, adapted it for the Broadway show, and adapted it again for the new movie.
Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind. I do feel like I know a lot of people care about it and care about these characters, but no one more than me.
We as women have to support each other.
In Hollywood, I'm Alicia Stanford.
Looks pretty fetch. Well, stick around because we have Chris with a look at your forecast coming up after the break.
You've never seen a car warranty like this. Paying customers 1 point Honda on virtually every vehicle.
Your warranty lasts forever at Roper Honda.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 714 now on this Thursday morning. Take a look. Our camera on top of the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Beautiful sunrise out there, albeit a bit of a cold start for us. It is going to be, again, deceivingly warm today. It is going to lie to us, and it's going to make us feel all warm and toasty inside right before it gets really cold out there. MoDOT camera 20th in range line, clear roadways, mostly clear skies out there. Not a bad start and looking pretty good from the KDOT camera on 69 just south of Pittsburgh, at least again for the time being. In terms of alerts, we do have a wind chill watch for the bulk of southeast Kansas. This kicks in tonight through Tuesday morning. Could be changed to an advisory or a wind chill warning, but at least right now, watch out for the possibility of wind chills again 15 to 30 below zero over the next few days, which means frostbite occurs in about 30 minutes outside. So we've got to be careful. We're not kidding around with these dangerously cold temperatures, and that's why, again, today, don't let today fool you. I know some folks will be like, oh, well, it was so warm today. It's not going to be cold tomorrow. Those of you that have been in the 4 states long enough know that this can happen, but anybody who's new, you're going to think that we're just all crazy up here, but it is going to get dangerously cold. We have wind advisories tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for Oklahoma and Arkansas as well, for winds gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour out there. Medium impact from the wind, the snow, and a high impact from, again, the dangerously cold temperatures. I know I've said it many times, but in all reality, it is going to be dangerously cold over the next few days. Today, though, not that way at all. Mostly cloudy skies, temperatures looking pretty good out there. Late tonight into the overnight, we'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. And as that Arctic blast rolls in, we're going to see this pretty quickly start to change over to snow across the area as we head toward tomorrow morning. Now, with it being so cold and getting cold so quickly, and I mean, take a look at how low these temperatures drop. We go from the 40s near 50 to the teens out there. Flash freezing is a slight possibility on roadways that are wet from any rainfall, which means the snow would have a better opportunity to stick to the roadways, which could lead to some minor to moderate travel impacts as we go into our Friday. Bulk of the snow clears out by about noon, leaving us with a few flurries, a few snow showers out there, and it also leaves us very cold. In terms of snow, here's what we're looking at this point. We're talking maybe a dusting up to 2 inches. So we're not looking at this point at significant snow Friday, but with it being cold enough and with it being able to stick, it may seem like a lot more, and could impact your commute throughout Friday. Right now in Joplin, again, beautiful sunrise out there, 32, feeling like 24, the south breeze at 10. However, that wind is going to start to increase as we head into the afternoon across the area. Temperatures still for the most part in the 20s around the region, and because the breeze still hasn't really picked up significantly, wind chills are cold, but they're not as cold as they were yesterday. We do have some teens, Fort Scott, Yates Center, and Sedan, as well as Chinook, for example. Still some teen wind chills out there, so pretty chilly nonetheless. We're going to be mostly cloudy as the clouds increase pretty quickly through the morning, and our temperatures increase pretty nicely as well into the mid-40s by late morning. Heading into the afternoon, again, highs right around the mid-50s, mostly cloudy skies, and that southeast wind gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. We go into this evening, clouds, rain, showers, thunderstorms, transitioning to that snow overnight, and temperatures falling back to 20. And through the evening, our temperatures reach a point where they're going to bob in the upper 40s for a bit before that Arctic blast settles in and kicks them down. Then we're watching round 2 of snow as we head into Sunday. One thing that's been pretty consistent for about the last 3 days is the timing on the snow. We're talking late morning on Sunday and running into early mornings, Monday across the area. We're going to have snow and these extraordinarily cold temperatures out there. Now, in terms of accumulations, still some uncertainties. I think right now we're looking on average about 4 inches, but of course that'll be on top of whatever we get tomorrow. Now those amounts will very likely change, and you'll want to stay tuned here with KOAM through tomorrow and into Saturday, and we'll get much better details on the timing and the amounts of snow Sunday. And then we could see some additional snow showers as we head into late Monday and into very early Tuesday morning across the area as well. Now that shouldn't add up to too terribly much, but some additional snow on top of the snow that's already out there. All right, tomorrow, low 20s for our highs. Teens, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday out there. Overnight lows, single digits, maybe even below zero in some cases. The snow on Sunday, snow possible on Monday. And the other issue with any snow we get, regardless of how much we see, is it's not going to have an opportunity to really go anywhere. Temperatures all the way through next weekend looking to stay below freezing with overnight lows in the teens and some single digits absolutely possible out there. So the sun will help melt some of it, but a lot of it's not going to melt off, and any melting that does take place will very likely refreeze overnight, leading to more slick spots. So we've got to watch out over the next several days. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Hi, I'm Wade with Wade's RV, and I wanted to invite you to come see the Wade.
Well, blind date photo shoot is essentially just like how it sounds. Two strangers on a blind date that have to get up close and personal to take couple photos. That's interesting.
Right now, Savannah and Colt Reese, the couple who went on this kind of first date, share their life-changing experience.
From strangers to soulmates, Ohio couple Savannah and Colt Reese have an unusual love story.
We met on a blind date photo shoot.
The pair first met in 2021 at East Fork Lake in Bethel when they were set up by a mutual friend.
Hannah blindfolded me and walked me over by the lake and had me stand there, and she went up and got Savannah and they blindfolded her, you at the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And walked her down to me. And then had us stand back to back.
Moments away from lifting their blindfold, the pair say they were having second thoughts.
I was like, this is going to be an absolute train wreck.
I should just go home now.
But they say as soon as their eyes locked, those thoughts quickly faded.
First, when I turned around, there was a relief that it wasn't all just a practical joke set up by my friends. I was like, okay, there's actually someone here.
At first, it's awkward because you don't know them. And then you have to get all cuddly with each other and do those awkward couple pictures. But we laughed the whole time.
And that laughter hasn't stopped. The couple started dating shortly after, and about a year later, they returned back to that lake to take their engagement and wedding photos.
To know that that's how we met, and then to have all these new pictures for every milestone in our life has been really cool, and can't wait to see the other ones past this.
The couple is now moments away from celebrating another milestone.
We are expecting our first boy on February 14th.
The pair says they're looking forward to parenthood and can't wait to share their story with their son when he grows up.
Would you guys encourage him to go on some blind dates?
Yes.
Yeah. As long as he has good friends.
Now, another unique tidbit about this story is that Savannah's mom and dad also met on a blind date, and they also held their engagement photos in the exact same spot at the lake where the couple first met.
What is going on up there?
That isn't, I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm married, have been, it's almost been 9 years. Even then, even before that, I have no idea. I don't think I would have done that. But at the same time,
it's weird.
Amber and I met
weird,
on MySpace. Okay, that's how old we all are. MySpace. Oh. And she lived in Carthage, and I drove up there, and we met at the Dollar Tree.
That was your first date?
No, it wasn't a date. That's just where we decided to meet up in person. We were in the party aisle at Dollar Tree. And somehow, all these years later, it somehow worked out. But we didn't have a photo shoot, engagement, or wedding in the Dollar Tree party aisle. I feel like maybe we missed out on something there.
Oh, and y'all live happily ever after. Congratulations.
Most of the time.
Way to go, Chris. Well, coming up, Republican candidates came together last night in Iowa for their final debate before primary voting begins. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
And take a look at this sunrise. Looks quite nice out there. However, we're going to start to see showers, thunderstorms overnight tonight, turning to snow and much colder air on the way. We'll have another look at that forecast when we come back.
The Cardinals Caravan, January 13th, brought to you by the Missouri Farm Bureau, MSSU, and Zimmer Radio.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:28 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Pitt State yesterday welcomed its new international students. The university hosted a dinner for the students at the Pittsburgh Presbyterian Church. Not only was it a chance for the students to get a nice warm meal before classes started up, but also a chance for members of the community to meet the new students.
The international students, they just came from halfway across the world, all the way across the world, and so they're tired, they're exhausted. So we offer this, or the community offers this rather, for the students to be able to meet everyone, to get to know each other, and just have a nice warm meal, have friends, and interact with the community.
Much of the food was provided by community members as well. And the Pittsburgh Community School Board yesterday held a special meeting to give an update on the search for a new superintendent. So far, they have 7 candidates that they're looking at. They span over 6 different states. However, they are still looking for candidates in Kansas as well.
We want that person that is a good communicator, you know, a good, honest person that can communicate with everyone from classified all the way through our certified staff. You know, good with numbers for our budget, obviously, because that's a big deal, so that's key. But we just want that overall good person, good communicator, you know, knows the curriculum, knows our budget, things like that.
The current USD 250 superintendent, Richard Proffitt, will be retiring at the end of June.
And we've got ourselves a chilly start to our Thursday morning across the area, ahead of much warmer weather for one more day before that Arctic blast gets here. Skywatch Storm Tracker, a few clouds here and there. Don't worry about all this snow. It's not actually happening. Just some ground clutter on the radar. This is happening just right outside of our viewing areas. We're talking just outside of Coffee and Greenwood counties. Winter weather advisories much further north into Nebraska and Iowa, dealing with winter storm warnings up that way. And again, I would not be surprised if we see a few more winter weather advisories start to creep in to parts of our viewing area through today and into early tomorrow. All right. Here's what we do have. Wind chill watch for bulk of southeast Kansas starting tonight through Tuesday morning. It's for the potential for wind chills to be 15 to 30 below zero. We're talking frostbite in 30 minutes. Now, this could get changed to an advisory or a wind chill warning, but it's something we want to keep an eye on. And it's just a reminder, we're not kidding about how dangerously cold it's about to get across the area, despite the warm weather we're expecting today. Wind advisories, Oklahoma, Arkansas, starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., running through 6 o'clock tomorrow evening for wind gusts upwards of 50 miles an hour, which will not help with the cold or with the snow. Medium impact from the wind and the snow, high impact from dangerously cold temperatures out there. This morning, it is cold, but not that cold, but still some frost out there. So give yourself time for maybe a quick scrape or a couple of extra minutes to get the frost off of your car. In Joplin right now, sitting at 32. We are at 27 in Pittsburgh. And as we go through today, again, it is going to be a deceivingly warm day. It is going to be hard to imagine how cold it's going to get in less than 24 hours across the area. As we go into the mid-50s, mostly cloudy skies, southeast breeze gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour out there for us today. We've got the snow coming in tonight into tomorrow. We have more snow possible on Sunday and on Monday, and the bitterly cold temperatures. We're going to talk about all that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, as the Republican field for president narrowed Wednesday night, 2 of the top 3 polling candidates met on stage. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie announcing his exit from the race just hours before the debate. It's Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley's final face-to-face before Iowa caucus goers make their voices heard. Julia Henbach reports.
Republican rivals Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis met in their first ever one-on-one debate Wednesday night. They're fighting to become their party's alternative to frontrunner Donald Trump. The former president once again opting to skip the debate, instead participating in his own town hall.
I wish Donald Trump was up here on this stage. He's the one that I'm running against. He's the one that I wish would be here. He needs to be defending his record.
With just 5 days to go before the Iowa caucuses, both candidates aim to use the narrower stage to drive home their messages to voters. Haley is promising a return to more traditional pre-Trump conservatism.
His way is not my way. I don't have vengeance. I don't have vendettas. I don't take things personally.
While DeSantis pledges to be a more effective implementer of Make America Great Again policies.
I appreciated what President Trump did, but let's just be honest. He said he was going to build a wall and have Mexico pay for it. He did not deliver that. He said he was going to drain the swamp. He did not deliver that.
Haley has emerged as a strong debater in previous clashes, with rising poll numbers to prove it. DeSantis went into the night looking to curb Haley's momentum in early voting states.
We don't need a candidate who's going to look down on middle America.
He wants to talk about me insulting Iowans. Iowans know when you're telling a joke. The fact that he's only running in one state is not the way you win president.
Reporting in Des Moines, Iowa, I'm Julia Benbrook.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Joplin Airport gained a very valuable employee yesterday. We'll see what all the excitement is about.
I'm not coming out until Casey's has thin crust.
Or this. Well, they have. Buy one large single topping pizza, get the second half off. Only at Casey's.
The Joplin Airport has welcomed the newest member of its law enforcement team. KOAM's Anthony Saviello shows us what all the bark is about.
Meet Bubba, the four-legged furball who is on the case. The suitcase, that is.
Bubba's an English Golden Retriever. He came to us from the Timber Creek Kennels in Wentworth, Missouri. And he's a year and a half old. So we've been training with him for about 8 months now. And working with him here at the airport for about 2 months.
The arrival of Bubba is something airport manager Bart Starkey says not only helps airport patrons, but all residents in the area.
Still here to try to provide the best security we can for our passengers and for the other people on the other tenants on the airfield. We're also available to provide that service to the area with our bomb dog. We can go to any other facilities that may have a bomb threat and provide that explosive detection service.
Even though he's on the job, just like any other dog, Bubba has to have fun.
That's our goal, you know, but he's a character.
Bubba isn't all play and no work. To see this dog in action can make even the most worried feel at ease.
If we don't ever find an explosive, that would be good. I think just him being here and being visible, searching for explosives, and people know they probably won't bring an explosive here and send it to another airport, or or not bring an explosive to an airport at all.
Though the hope is he will never have to use his skills, it doesn't take a sniffer to see this dog is the bomb. Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Officer Williams tells us Bubba gets to be a regular dog off duty. Bubba interacts with people and other dogs at home and eats plenty of treats. Now let's go to Chris for a quick look at the weather.
Yeah, we're taking a look outside downtown Joplin. We got a nice sunrise, bit chilly of a start out there. We're going to warm up, and we got wintry weather on the way. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And coming up in Consumer Watch, extreme weather has been affecting much of the U.S. for the last couple of years. We're going to see how these temperatures are taking their toll on strawberry farmers.
Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:40 on this Thursday morning. Again, great view of the sunrise from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Looking great out there. Roads are clear. It's going to be that way for our day today. 20th and Rangeline MoDOT camera also looking great. I got a pretty nice start to the day. KDOT camera 69 just south of Pittsburgh. As mentioned, starting tonight through Tuesday morning, a wind chill watch for the bulk of southeast Kansas. That could change to a warning or an advisory over the next day or so, but at least at this point, it's for the anticipation of wind chills being 15 to 30 degrees below zero. We're talking dangerously cold temperatures out there. That's frostbite in about 30 minutes under those conditions. We've also got, starting tomorrow morning at 6, running through 6 in the evening, wind advisories, Oklahoma and Arkansas for winds gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour. We have that medium impact from wind, snow, and a high impact from the dangerously cold temperatures over the next few days. And as I've mentioned today, it's not going to feel like it's going to get that cold at all, but watch, it's going to happen, unfortunately. Today, though, not bad. Clouds increase. It's mostly cloudy. It's going to be breezy, but our temperatures are going to be warm. And as we go through the evening, our temperatures are going to settle right about the upper 40s. And they're kind of going to do this number where they'll drop maybe a 46 46 and then go back up to 48 and come down to 47 before that Arctic blast rolls through. Ahead of that, though, scattered showers and even some thunderstorms will be possible. Not anticipating any severe weather, but don't be surprised if there's a rumble of thunder or two out there. But here's that difference starting to build in. Now, at this point, it's only about a 12-degree difference from Cassville to Yates Center, but that difference will deepen as the Arctic blast continues to roll in. The thing is, it also closes in. So now look, 28 in Joplin by Friday at 5 a.m., but still at 45 just down the road in Anderson at the same time. Snow starts building in as well. The bulk of the snow will roll out of here by about noon, leaving us with some snow showers and some light flurries heading into the afternoon hours, and temperatures fall quickly back into the teens out there. So that's why we mentioned too, flash freezing is a possibility on roadways, especially where you get a little more rain. As the temperatures fall so quickly, that rain could freeze over, not only leading to potential black ice, but also giving the snow plenty of places to stick out there. We're not anticipating a ton of snow with this initial system as we head into Friday. We're looking at right now at about a dusting to 2 inches of snow out there, but on the roads, that's still enough to cause some significant travel concerns, especially across southwest Missouri and right along the I-44 corridor going back into northeastern Oklahoma. Right now in Joplin, it is 32. It feels like 24 with the south breeze at 10. Mostly clear skies out there. So again, not a bad start to the day. Temperatures around the region gradually starting to warm. Still, most of us in the 20s, but we are starting to see a few more low 30s out there. And the wind chills still, they're chilly for sure. We've got some upper teens right around the low to mid 20s across the area. So you definitely want to bundle up this morning. As we get the day started, clouds increase, temperatures increase. We go into the mid 40s by late morning, and our highs today right around the mid 50s. That's why it's hard to believe that 24 hours from now, our high is going to be 24 degrees. We're going to go from 55 to 24, just like that. Mostly cloudy skies again, winds out of the southeast, gusting upwards of 30. Cloudy through the evening, showers begin to build in late. And then we'll see the rain, the thunderstorms transition to snow progressively from west to east as that colder air sets in and eventually reach lows into the 20s. Then we got to watch Sunday. And I want to mention this too, is there's been one consistency so far over the last about 3 days is the timing of the snow. It looks to start about, say, mid-morning on Sunday. So again, from west to east, from starting about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to stick with us. Temperatures hold steady in the single digits, but they hold steady, and the snow continues into Monday morning across the area. At this point, again, we're still monitoring the potential accumulations. We're looking on average maybe about 4 inches of snow, but that can change and very likely will change over the next couple of days. So make sure you're staying here with KOAM as we head into the weekend. We'll keep you updated on those snow totals. By Monday evening, another round of maybe some light snow or snow showers will move in, and that'll kick out by early Tuesday morning. So as we head down the road, we're talking low 20s for our highs tomorrow. Teens Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We've got the snow. Overnight lows, teens, single digits, even below zero at some points. And despite the sunshine next week, we do not do any warming. Highs staying below freezing. Overnight lows, single digits, and teens out there. So do be prepared for a significant cool down. Let's check your forecast. Now we're going to send it over to Caitlin with Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. A consumer advocacy group is suing Starbucks over its ethical sourcing claims. In a lawsuit, the National Consumers League is accusing Starbucks of engaging in false advertising by claiming to be committed to 100% ethical sourcing of its coffee and tea products. The lawsuit claims the company gets some of the coffee beans and tea leaves from farms that have committed, quote, human rights and labor abuses. According to a statement by Starbucks, the company plans to, quote, aggressively defend itself against the allegations. And extreme hot and cold temperatures could have a negative impact on strawberry production in California. Fox's Cristina Rodriguez has more on the story.
Planting, growing, plucking, and packing. Farmers say the strawberry industry is the backbone of the Santa Maria Valley. Right now, the weather is bad because it is very cold. The rain is affecting us a little, and now it is starting to freeze. But the weather can dictate how much grows and survives. During rain season, it rained lightly, and during the heat, it was hot, but not as heavy as in recent years.
Farmers say climate has changed in the last 20 years. The extreme heat and cold does impact the production of strawberries.
We do the planting in October, and it takes 6 months before we start harvesting. This is if we have good weather.
Owner of Little Pete's Farms, Ana Ibarra, says the cold and rain hasn't hit hard enough to damage as many strawberries as the previous harvest.
We have thousands and thousands of strawberry acres in the Central Coast. You know, if you take Oxnard, Ventura, Santa Maria, Salinas, and there's a lot of families, you know, it takes a lot of manpower, you know.
Ibarra and her husband have been in the industry for 20 years now. She says many families depend on a successful harvest. Strawberries are very important because many of the families in the Santa Maria Valley live off of strawberries. It's the economy. I don't know if you realize, but when the strawberry season begins, the stores are full of people and the restaurants. In the coming months, strawberry farmers will begin some of the busiest months of the year. I'm News Channel reporter Christina Rodriguez.
And those are our top stories for Consumer Watch this morning. We'll be right back with more news after the break.
Hi, I'm Dow Quick, and I'm inviting
Your time matters. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Simply more convenient.
In California, a story of survival. A Good Samaritan helped rescue a woman who was trapped in her car for days after driving off a cliff.
The rescue happened over the weekend, and while the man was helping her, he was also reliving his own trauma. Nicole Comstock has more.
A helicopter lowers a first responder down into a canyon near Mount Baldy.
Found this lady, she's been there since Wednesday.
After a Good Samaritan found a woman trapped inside this mangled truck. It flipped down an embankment after she swerved to avoid hitting a deer in the dark.
I heard her yelling, help, help, and real faint though.
Chris Ayers had been fishing in nearby San Antonio Creek when he followed her cries for help. He says he eventually found her standing inside the truck with her head poking out of the window.
There was not much left of her truck. When I got to the truck, it was mangled pretty bad, and I don't know how she survived it. I saw the steering wheel was almost folded like a taco. Her head must have hit that.
She had been down there alone with head injuries for 4 very cold nights.
She had these bowls set up trying to collect rainwater, because I think the night before it hailed. And I don't know how she survived. She's one tough girl.
Chris tried to call 911, but there was no cell reception. He says he tried to flag down an ambulance on the road, but it didn't stop. Finally, he stopped a Forest Service truck, and they sent in the rescue crews. Those rescue crews say she may not have survived out here another night.
It's got to be God-led. I happened to stop at that one spot, and it's almost like fate, you know?
Chris knows exactly what it's like to need a miracle. He says 10 years ago he was shot while hunting in Lytle Creek, and he himself needed to be airlifted to a hospital.
So I've been in her shoes. I know what it feels like. So the whole thing was kind of traumatic. That's why I'm just so glad she made it.
Rescue officials said that the woman had extra supplies in her truck to make it through those days. She's currently recovering from a broken ankle.
Certainly an incredible tale
Absolutely.
of survival. And we've got an incredible tale of bitterly cold temperatures rolling through. Starting tonight through Tuesday morning, wind chill watch once again for the bulk of southeast Kansas, and that is for the possibility of wind chills dropping 15 to 30 below zero. This could be changed to a wind chill warning or an advisory over the next few hours or the next day or so. So we'll keep an eye on that, but do be prepared for dangerously cold temperatures. Wind advisories tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. through tomorrow at 6 p.m. Oklahoma and Arkansas, where winds could gust up to 50 miles an hour. Medium impact out of that wind and snow, high impact out of the dangerously cold temperatures. And again, do allow yourself a couple extra minutes to scrape some of that frost off this morning. One final check of temperatures. We're sitting at 32 in Joplin, 26 in Pittsburgh under mostly clear skies. Clouds increase, southeasterly winds gusting upwards of 30 today, and temperatures in the mid-50s. That last warm day before it gets bitterly cold. We'll have one more check of your forecast and news you need to know right after this.
The area's favorite premier gaming destination is starting 2020.
It was part of the 145th Field Artillery Battalion. We are proud to salute Charles Jenny, a 4-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Joplin police arrest a suspect in a fatal hit and run. Authorities earlier yesterday released an image of what they believe the suspect vehicle looked like, a dark-colored 2002 to 2005 Ford Explorer. They later then followed a lead to an address in Duquesne where they found a vehicle matching that description. They contacted the owner, 49-year-old Ruben Blanco, and determined he was behind the wheel Monday night, when 55-year-old Eva Havelock of Joplin was hit by a vehicle that fled the scene. Havelock died of her injuries Tuesday morning. Formal charges have not yet been filed. In the Carthage Chamber of Commerce, first of its kind Women's Empowerment Series is a new monthly set of luncheons leading up to the Women in Business Conference in May. Tickets are $12 for chamber members and $15 for non-members. Each month, the luncheons will have a different theme and speaker to share their experience as a woman in the workforce. And the Pittsburgh Community School Board yesterday held a special meeting to give an update on the search for a new superintendent. So far, they have 7 candidates that they're looking at. All of them are from out of the state. However, they are still looking for candidates in Kansas as well.
All right, today we're looking at highs mid-50s, southeast breeze gusting upwards of 30, mostly cloudy skies out there. Cloudy through the evening, temperatures kind of hovering for a bit before that Arctic blast settles in. Ahead of that, showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms. That transitions to snow overnight and into early tomorrow morning as we fall back into the 20s. Looking ahead, we're in the low 20s tomorrow. Snow for the first part of our day, maybe a dusting to a couple of inches out there. Cold through the next several days as well. Temperatures in the teens and 20s, overnight lows single digits, even below zero in some cases, with more snow possible as we head into Sunday and Monday.
And 5th grader Kyra Snyder was going to school as she normally would last Thursday morning. That was until she got a call from her best friend at the high school who said there was a shooting. Kyra's father, Scott, called his older son, who was in the school, to confirm that he was okay.
Now, the shooting resulted in the death of a 6th grader and injured 7 others. Both Kyra and her brother are part of Perry local Boy Scout Troop 127, and their father is a scoutmaster. They decided to start a teddy bear drive for a local elementary class as one of the children was injured in the shooting.
However, the response was so overwhelming that they are now able to give a teddy bear to every single student at Perry Elementary.
Certainly an incredible way to bring something good out of such a tragic situation up there.
Yes.
Well, again, we're continuing to monitor the winter weather over the next few days, as you should as well. We want to thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning.
We'll see you right back here today at noon.